This podcast discusses real criminal cases. The views expressed are opinions based on publicly available information and are not intended to accuse or defame anyone. Listener discretion is advised.
So, City of Boston's had a little bit of a problem over the last 20 years where men intermittently will go missing after a night out with their friends. They get separated, lose contact, and wind up drowned dead in whatever body of water surrounding the City of Boston. Now, most people think coincidence. Law enforcement seems to think that that's also the case. However, there are a group of people out there, the cast of this show obviously, that think something else is up, something the police might not be telling us. So here on The Search, we're going to go back to Case 1, Dustin Willis, Case 2, William Hurley, and Case 3, Eugene Losick. We got something for you this season. Tune in. This is The Search. Let's get after it. Here we are, Season 2. Made it a full season.
Kind of shocking.
Yeah, it didn't get canceled, nothing. Just rolled from Season 1 right into Season 2 here on The Search.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, right? Hell of a first season. Great run, I think. Some people might even say we're on a hot streak. I don't know. What do you think?
I would agree.
I think we're riding pretty hot.
Yeah.
Personally.
I think only Season 2 and Season 3, Season 4,
5,
Season 5.
6.
I feel like LeBron.
Yeah, I feel
That's
like
what I was thinking when I
Miami
was
Heat,
going to.
which I don't know if that's who we want to feel
I know
like
we don't
right
want
now.
that. That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, right. As always here on The Search, you guys know we love local cases first and foremost. You know, we do our out-of-market stuff every other week, but this week we are going to start in our home city. Actually, our capital city, I should say. Sorry, I'm a suburbs guy. And we're going to be in the city of Boston here because we've had this issue over the course of the last, 20 or so years?
Yep, just
dating
about.
back to about, I want to say 06? Coming up on 20.
Yeah, coming
Right?
up.
Where, every now and then, it's not a monthly thing, thank God, but, you get every now and then, it's a guy you hear goes missing after a night at the bar, loses contact with the people that he's out with, can't get in touch with them, whether it's the next morning, a day, 2 days go by, and this individual always turns up dead, in the water, drowned, and it's like...
It's almost like when
it's
almost like when you hear a disappearance, you just wait and when they find them in the
Well,
water.
I think we've been conditioned that way at this point. Yeah.
At this point.
Because I remember the last kid, Zach Marr, who will technically be the last episode of this, or it could be the other kid. Depends, whatever. Either way, I think it was 2015 or 16 was the last, case, so to speak, right?
That they've been able to tie.
The
so
Bell
far.
in Hand kid, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, I thought, and you thought, it would be a good idea on this program to go case by case because this has been connected by a lot of people who have done a lot of good research,
Yes.
whether it's private investigators, Officer Duarte and his partner, the person who owns, the individual that owns, what was the blog you looked up?
Oh, the Vanishing Men one on WordPress. Yep.
Yes, shout out to the individual, Elias, that's running that, doing a phenomenal job with it. I think there's a book. I don't know.
There has to be a book.
There's got to be a book,
There's
right?
definitely a book. There's always a book.
I think there's a Lifetime thing too. Whatever. Either way, this is kind of
that's the Duarte and Gannon on Lifetime.
Gannon on Lifetime thing. Yeah,
or
yes.
Oxygen.
Right.
Could have been Oxygen or Lifetime.
Sounds either or. That this is really kind of taken on its own narrative, I think, in the subculture of true crime, to be honest with you. I'd put it up there. It's rising up to become one of the more famous or infamous, I should say, true crime Venn diagrams that are out there, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to start, it all starts somewhere, right? For Boston specifically, we're going to start with an individual named Dustin Willis, right? And there's a couple of interesting things to note about all of the potential victims.
Yep.
Again, we can't really prove that they were victims. One, I'm pretty sure you can. We'll talk about William Hurley in a minute.
Yep.
But each victim was a young man in his 20s that was out at night in Boston. They all vanished near the city's waterfront or river areas and were later found in water. Military or engineering ties in 2 of these cases, and they were all healthy and active men. Phones play a key role. Found nearby, dead mid-call, or separated from the victim every time. One variation of those three.
Yep.
Right? And keep in mind, this is '06. This is the fairly early days of cell phones. This is not your iPhone 17 Pro Max. This is like a Verizon flip phone.
Yes.
Nextel two-way era. Maybe you have a BlackBerry.
I think the iPhone came out in 08.
Oh, wait, maybe. Yeah, so maybe.
I think so. I
Right.
thought that would be my...
Yep, because I remember Al had like the first one, obviously.
It's a brick.
Yep, remember that.
Rounded edges.
Back when YouTube's logo was the brown TV.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
So this is March 2007. Excuse me, I thought it was 6.
Yeah.
I apologize. March 16th, 2007 is where we're going to jump to right here. And this individual was a Navy petty officer out celebrating St. Patrick's Day with their shipmates. Now, naval cadets will do this. Coast Guard individuals will do this. You know, they dock the boat, go out in whatever city they happen to be, you know, docked in and have a night and then go back to the ship at night.
Yep.
This is like common practice.
This guy's name's Dusty Willis. He was born January 19th, so he's 26 when he disappears. He's a U.S. Navy petty officer, 3rd class, crew member of the USS Donald Cook. He's from North Carolina. They say he's 5'10", 180 pounds, obviously in shape. Blue eyes, brown hair, medium build. He's last seen wearing a black and brown jacket, tuxedo t-shirt, blue jeans, and black shoes. I hope that's a black jacket, because brown jacket and black shoes, that gets my OCD going.
Diabolical, kind of
Yeah.
like the scally cap that Al's wearing
Yes,
right
I
now,
know,
which is
it
why
is-
it's
it
really
does-
throwing him for. Yeah,
You
this
did
is-
give this to me, so
I did,
so
not
you're gonna
knowing
give
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I will take the blame for the scally you have on right now.
Yeah, and he just got a naval achievement medal days before.
I almost was going to say
disappears.
promotion. Good
Yes.
thing I didn't. So
Yes.
yeah, that's what it was actually. Yep. So this guy was clearly like, again, a like mentally competent and like, you know, cognizant individual that had like had his shit together and like, you know.
Yep. I mean, he's a Navy guy. You'd assume he's a great swimmer.
That's
I
another
mean,
thing.
The
that
family,
you really
the
don't
family
think about
does
this.
mention that they believe he was a great swimmer.
And admittedly,
Great shape.
That's something I never thought of. And I've done like true crime episodes on this guy before. So I never even thought of that. So that's a good, I just, Navy, water, I never really even put that together for some reason. So at 11 p.m., right, he speaks to his girlfriend on the phone. I believe, if I am not mistaken, they are at the Black Rose.
They are
On
at the
State
Black
Street,
Rose.
correct?
Yep.
Right on the edge of Faneuil Hall. If you've ever been down, map. We get a map in the photo file. This is map.
Patty Maps.
I have
week.
been waiting to get to this stuff just for the maps. This is map heaven to me, right? If you look at where the Black Rose is, it's right next to Sissy K's. It's around the corner from Hong Kong and Wild Rover. It's all in that shit show area of Faneuil Hall, as I like
Yes.
to call it. It's an absolute scene.
Yes.
Let alone back in 2007, it was probably even more. This is Al's heyday we're
This
talking about,
is
by the way.
prime me with a fake ID
This
bouncing
is Al
around.
with a fake ID. I don't think you had earrings ever.
No, I
Did
never
you?
had earrings.
No.
I got away from I had a blowout. I never
You
had
did.
the earrings.
I remember that button-down
So-
shirt. Yep,
Yeah.
a lot of it.
So, you button down shirt or button up?
It's a good question.
What do you call it, Pat?
It's like a half. It's like a. That's like a
button down or button up?
Yeah, I never. You know
Be a
what?
button-down shirt.
I call it a button down too.
You know what's funny? I typically do call it a button-down. Did
you
I just say
button down
button
it?
up?
No, I don't know.
I don't know what I
I don't
just
even
said.
remember.
Now I don't know.
I have no idea.
I think you said button down. That feels right.
Yeah.
Do you button down or you button up? Because I button down.
I button down.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? No, I do the bottom button first.
That's crazy.
I do the bottom button
That's
first.
crazy.
Yeah.
Pat, where do you start?
At the top.
Top. I go second in.
Wait, is this a
and then I
real
go
thing?
down.
Hold
Yes.
on. Am I
I
just like a
start
faux
second,
pas?
'cause I
Second.
don't want the caller. And then I go
Second
down.
from the
Well,
top.
hold on. I do it because I don't want to forget to button the bottom button.
Why would you forget?
I don't know.
You just go till there's none left. Right?
I don't know that this is. I mean, now I'm fucked up because I
I'd
didn't
ask
know that
Jack,
this was
but I
like
feel
a
like
real
Jack's
thing.
the type of guy that never
Jack's
really.
a polo guy. I feel like.
Yeah.
Typically, I'd be a polo guy, yeah. But
Yeah.
I button down from the up. From up to down.
Up to down. Yeah. So you button down. Okay.
So if you couldn't tell that.
I know,
I'm
we went on a
I'm
tangent.
bass backwards,
Yeah.
apparently. Yeah. So, at anywho, he gets separated from. He steps outside to make a phone call. If you're gonna notice, by the way, that like, I would say 85 to 90% of these cases all start with that.
I know.
He stepped outside to make a phone call.
Yeah. Or have a cigarette.
Or have a cigarette,
Yeah.
or rip a cig. Phone call, cig. This is
Yeah.
back when cigs were like cigs.
Yeah.
You
Heavy
know what I mean?
Heavy cigarette.
Yeah, right. Just got out of the SIGs inside thing. Now it's only outside. This basically all only happened because they outlawed cigarettes inside.
That's
If you let people smoke inside, we wouldn't have this problem right now.
Yeah, I know.
So, and anywho, he makes a call, steps outside, makes a call to his girlfriend, and then his friends are like in the bar, and he never comes back in.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Now they had reported that he was pretty drunk.
Yes, there's varying issues of how drunk he was.
Yeah, there's really a tough barometer to call on how
Yes.
shit-faced somebody is, because like it's a person-to-person thing.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Night-to-night thing, actually.
I've seen people before. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I've seen people. It's a great point. I've seen people like at a house party or out at a bar, seen them the next morning. The night before, they were like, hey, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, parlay sucked today, blah, blah, blah. Talking just like this. And the next morning, like, yeah, I barely remember last night. And like, I saw them.
And they were fine.
No, but like, I saw them like go in their house.
Yeah. No, I know.
So it's like, dude, I didn't even know you were like
I know.
that in one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's varying. Alcohol is very person to person. And like you said, it can also depend like day to day, right? He called. Is there a record of what the girlfriend, like what the was it just like a check-in? Did you get anything on the phone call itself?
I don't have the actual conversation,
Okay.
like what they were saying, but yeah, it seems like they were just checking in with each
the
other.
gist.
Yeah, hey
Right.
babe, I'm at the Black Rose. Don't
Got you.
worry about me, type thing.
Okay. Cool. Did you have a nook and cranny for right here in the middle before I go to 1 a.m.?
Yeah, so basically on the night, March 16, he's out, Quincy Market, Faneuil Hall. It's heavy snow. It's heavy snow
That's another
outside.
thing, yep.
Yeah. So it's like in the
Yes.
middle of a blizzard, pretty much. They're bouncing between bars. And around 1 o'clock is when they find the phone on the sidewalk near Legal Seafood. So now if you've ever been down that way, Legal Seafood's kind of near like Tia's.
Right.
So they find that
This is closer to the water for anybody who's not.
So now
who doesn't know this.
they're moving. This phone's found kind of a little bit ways away from the Black Rose, Faneuil Hall.
I want to say it's like, what is it, like almost a half a mile?
I'd say about a half mile.
Because it's about
That kinda
halfway
makes
up
sense.
State Street, right?
Yeah.
And then you got to go down to Atlantic Ave. And
Yeah.
the wharf's out there, pier, whatever you want to call it, right?
I do say like there's a couple hot spots we're gonna touch as we go
Sure.
along. That long wharf
Yeah.
where they end up finding
Absolutely.
finding Dustin is one of the hot spots.
For sure.
I mean, obviously it is a wharf. It's by the city, but that does seem like a place where it does seem like they're repeating over in that area.
It is you could say it's a common denominator,
Yep.
right? And it kind of plays like the New Bedford highway killings in that one spot that like you kept kind of finding
Yep.
whatever that turn on the
Route
highway.
195.
195
or
and shit, yeah.
Ruby Road was it called?
I believe so.
Now I'm blanking on the road, but that's fine.
Go back and watch the episode. You could check.
Yes.
So yeah, they find his phone. His cell phone is found on the sidewalk near Long Wharf, down by the harbor.
Yeah, this is
Right.
like 2 hours after that phone call with the
Gotcha.
girlfriend.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, did she make a note? Like, did he hang up, or was like the phone call cut short?
No, they spoke. That was a perfectly fine
Okay.
thing. Yep, that it wasn't cut short. It didn't die mid call or anything like that. It just
Any eyewitness accounts of like people outside that saw him? I'd imagine he wasn't the only person out there.
There's no eyewitness in time really between the shipmates losing track of him and then 1 o'clock when they find the cell phone.
Okay.
So he kind of just
Everybody must have kind of been in one.
Yeah. Or you know what? It's a dude. Like honestly, I believe Dustin Willis is a white dude in Boston, in that area. It's not like there's a dime
Probably
a dozen.
blended in pretty well. Yeah, I agree
young
with that.
dude out drinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So he probably looked like every other person that was with
Oh
him.
yeah, there was nobody. Yeah, you probably walked by 97 people that night when you've been like, yeah, he might have. So now we're gonna cut to March 21st.
Yeah.
Am I
we'll do that.
on cue
Yeah.
here? His body is recovered in 22 feet of water off of Long Wharf.
Which that number struck out to me.
Yeah.
22 feet deep. So he's 22 feet down,
Not floating.
not floating. Roughly 100 yards from Legal Seafoods.
Oh.
22 feet deep.
Wow. Okay.
That to me was like, first of all, I have a lot of questions on how they find the body.
That's another. Yeah, I mean, like
22 feet deep.
you have to think. This probably went into like missing persons thing super quick because he was a naval
Yes.
cadet,
I
and
think
it's
that-
like there's a curfew probably, or if there isn't, they're at least doing like roll call the next morning, and it's like,
And
hey,
he's out with all his shipmates.
right?
You know what I mean?
So and again, as any group of friends is like this, but you're obviously like accounting for the people you're with. Everybody's kind of moving on the same clock typically, right?
Yep.
So there's obviously like a regiment involved. So when one of these things is out of like the, their proverbial like phalanx move, it's somebody's going to turn up pretty, an eyebrow's going to pick up pretty quick, right?
Yeah. So they find the phone right at that legal seafood. 100 yards away, they find the body 22 feet deep in the water. So that's kind of like, if you can visualize that, that's kind of the proximity to the phone where he is.
Now, the first thing that I want to bring up here in regards to like the circumstances that led up to this is like, I'm going to tell you something right now. I've been out in Boston probably 120 times in my life. Okay, I'm 33 years old. I have never once in my life, Al, how about you? You had a good heyday.
Yep.
City, going out, bars, clubs, whatever it was. I have never once in my life, Pat can chime in on this as well, left a bar and said to myself, especially on a freezing cold fucking night.
In a blizzard.
Let's take a walk down by the water. I can't remember a single time that I've said that to myself.
No, but is it because we're used to the water? We're sick of the water. We don't need to see the water. You know what I mean? Like we see it all the time.
Can I be frank here,
Yeah.
to be honest with you? I don't give a fuck where you're from. What are you looking out at 1 a.m. into the Boston Harbor to see?
Also, he's a Navy man.
And he's a Navy man.
So he's seen plenty of seas.
This guy sailed the 7 seas, presumably, or wherever he's been, the Red Sea, the fucking Dead Sea, I don't know, the Strait of Gibraltar, whatever the hell. Okay? I need to know, when you look out into the grimace purple skyline of Boston at 1 a.m. in a blizzard on St. Patrick's Day, what is mystifying you enough to sit there and take in that sight?
Hey, you're there. You maybe grab a couple cigars. You have a cigar down by the water.
Is that a real? I mean, you're
In a blizzard?
You're talking to the cigar aficionado of America here on the right.
Yeah. My only beef would be the weather. The weather's not conducive to A, smoking a cigar, B, just in
If you told
general.
me this happened on like July 8th, I'd be like, oh, all right.
You do feel a lot warmer when you are like a few in.
Oh, for sure.
So maybe he could withstand the temperature a little bit more.
How close
I've
was
never once, though, to go back to your original question, I've never once in my life thought like I'm going to go look at the water.
None. Not one. I've
No.
been like, where are we? Are we going somewhere after? If not, how are we getting the fuck out of here?
Yeah.
Those are the only two things. The other thing I want to ask, right? Where was his body found in relation to the ship? Because this is like, is it like he was walking up the fucking, the ramp to the ship and like slipped?
Oh, no. That ship is not in Long Wharf.
Okay.
If he's on a ship, it would probably be at the Charlestown Naval Base. Would you guys agree? If they were going to be
Right.
docked anywhere.
Sure.
They would 1000% not be in Long
Well,
Wharf.
that's what I'm saying is like, there's no way
No.
that this, like, I don't know if there was like a base there, like the Coast Guard base is there. I didn't know if like something else was there at the time or whatever the hell.
Yeah, okay. So now you're thinking, okay, maybe he's in the Coast Guard base. That's a good question. I've never even thought about that.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I didn't know. Well, I didn't know if like the naval cadets had a place where they, whatever the fuck, I don't know when.
That's a good question. Maybe they can look that up.
Maybe.
Because,
I don't know. I might be asking a dumb question too. I have no idea.
I would assume the Charlestown Naval Base if they were, but I don't know. Definitely not Long Wharf. Long Wharf's like, you want to go on Codzilla,
almost like,
the aquarium.
like luxury almost. Like
Yes.
It's like nice. Did you have anything else to add to this? This one is not super in depth.
So here's why people are raising issues about this. His body's very close to where he disappeared. But they're saying because it's so close, it took almost 5 days for recovery of the body, and it's such in like a central trafficked area. Like that's so in some of these cases, we're gonna go that they kind of disappear down into Charles River, down an embankment or something like that, like over by a parking garage. You know what I mean? Like behind places. This is a heavily trafficked area. There's people walking all the time, all the way around here. So the fact that it's so close,
Right.
and it's such a heavily trafficked area, and it took that long to find the body, that people say that that's what kind of raised the red flags. Also, this dude, again, he's a trained Navy man, strong swimmer, and making that like accidental slip because everyone's like, oh, he probably just slipped. You know, he slipped and fell in. That's what they always say. Oh, he slipped and fell in. Or some people try to say they do it on purpose. This dude, there's no evidence whatsoever that he like wanted to commit suicide, which is another way. Do people drown themselves like that in a body of water?
Can I say one? Can I actually? I swear to God, add to
Yeah.
answer that genuine question. You know the Asian fella that drowned in the back of Encore like 7 months ago, 6-7 months. You remember hearing about that?
No.
He literally like I'm totally not kidding. You can look this up. The guy lost the poor bastard lost like 50 grand in Pai Gow.
Okay.
Literally walked out in the back of Encore, was like staring out into the water and like jumped in. And then he was like trying to get out and like couldn't. And the guy ended up passing away.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
That's the one time I've ever heard. I'm just saying that's the one time. And it was technically an accident if you want to call it that. But like that's the one time. Rest in peace to that guy. Yeah. Like
Okay.
that's, I swear to God, that just made me think of that one time.
It's a good thing to bring up.
Yeah, it made me think of the one time
Because you gotta say both sides of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. To answer your question, no. And the only time I've ever heard of it is that one time.
Yeah. And also that he has proximity to other victims. Like there's going to be other victims that we're going to talk about that are in Long Wharf. TD Garden's pretty close. We'll be talking about that as well.
The TD Garden one is like, when we get to Hurley, man, this is like, this one is the least sensical one of all of them.
Of all of them.
Not
This
by
is-
like a long shot, too.
There's some things that they were trying to tie just based on some other stuff. This one is as clear as day. The
Yeah.
Harley one, for sure. But
Did you have anything to add to Willis before we move on to Hurley?
let's move on to Hurley. We've already
Okay.
talked enough. We've
So-
did enough foreplay.
Yeah,
on
sure.
Hurley.
That's on Willis. This William Hurley thing is, I'm going to say it like this. If every other case that we talk about in regards to like the smiley face thing, which I get, it's like a name that really doesn't fit, to be honest with you. If every other case was like bullshit and really an accident, this is the one where I'm like,
Yes.
no, it's not.
Yep. I agree 1,000%.
Somebody did this, and you can't tell me otherwise. I don't know how you look at this base of evidence and be like, this was just all an accident, especially with the autopsy, whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're gonna cut to October of 2009. I remember this because I was in high school at the time. I was a junior at the time, right? To age myself. William Hurley is a 24-year-old man. He attends a Bruins game at TD Garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
So William Hurley, we'll get into a little background of him. He's 24.
Yep.
He lived in Quincy, Mass. with his girlfriend, Claire Mahoney. Great Irish name, Claire Mahoney.
Wow.
Background, U.S. Navy veteran. So he's also a Navy officer. He's
Yep.
also originally from North Carolina.
It's fucking
He
crazy.
leaves that Bruins game on October 8th, 2009.
If I'm not mistaken, he left early too, right?
He left early. He left in the middle of the game. And he was
Did he even make it to the middle of the game?
I don't even know if it was the middle of the game, but he left during the game, and he's like a huge fan of the
Yeah,
Bruins.
this kid was like a Bruins fan.
Yeah.
And honestly, like October 8th, this might have been like opening night. If you look at the they always start the first week of October.
There's a high chance I could be at this game. I'm dead serious.
Really?
Yeah,
No shit.
dead serious.
You're on the
At this
suspect list.
at this point, like
Right.
I think I was like 21, 22 at this point. I was getting like 5-10 game packs of Bruins.
Yeah, I
tickets,
remember
and
you guys were going all the time.
all
You were
the
like
time.
jacked up
All
with the
the
bees.
time.
Like you guys were there constantly.
All right, let's get back into her.
Back into it, right.
He's
Anyways.
5'8", 155 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes, slim build. So another athletic kid, obviously a veteran. Kind of fits the mold in terms of age, in shape, guy with a head on his shoulders.
Yep. So now he leaves the game early. He calls his girlfriend for a pickup. And like I remember seeing something where when I did the episode on this, he felt like woozy.
Yes.
Like drunk is one thing, but this guy was like, yo, I'm fucked up. Like something's up
There's
here.
reports that he only had one beer and he didn't even finish it.
Right.
So this is not one of those cases where he was drunk.
Right.
He drinks a beer, feels woozy,
Yep.
and it's like, I got to get out of here.
Right. So he clearly his if you want to call it like senses heighten pretty quick. His
Yes.
spidey sense is going off. He's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like something's up here.
Correct. Yep.
So he's on the phone with his girl as he's making the call. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't she like legit down the street or around the corner in very close proximity?
Very, very close proximity. I don't know exactly where she was, but I know it was like less than a mile away. Like
Yeah,
she was
like,
really close.
Very close.
Yes.
Right. In other words, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm going to be turning down the street like any second now.
Correct.
Just sit tight. And he was out. What did he say? He was out front or was he by Nashua Street?
So he doesn't
Oh,
say, he doesn't know where he is when he talks to her. She hears someone in the background say 99 Nashua Street. Like he's trying to ask,
yes.
like, where am I? And someone says, you're at 99
Which
Nashua
doesn't
Street.
make any sense because if this guy was an avid Bruins fan, I mean, TD Garden is not like that hard to figure out.
99 Nashua Street is on the back.
It's in the back. That's
The
where
back
you go
of the
out of the
garden.
back exit if you're going to Sturrow
Correct.
Drive and getting out that way, right?
Correct, yep.
So his phone dies during the call. She gets there. He is nowhere to be found.
This is all within like 10 minutes.
That's the other thing is this happened like legitimately within like 8 to 10 minutes, right? On October 14th, almost a week later, his body is found in the Charles River near 200 Nashua Street, 25 feet from the shore. So, close.
Very close.
Very close, close enough to where like you could see it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
20 feet is not as far as you think it is.
I would agree.
I mean, like, not that anybody thinks like, holy shit, that's this like profound,
It's like a car length.
About a car length away. So this guy was like right there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He had no visible injuries at the time, apparently. His wallet and keys were reportedly still with him. Now, nook and cranny me because there's more to this, right?
Well, yeah, so 99 Nashua Street, we can get into a little bit of that. Basically, that address is for like a surface parking lot. He didn't have a car.
Right.
So why is he at the surface parking lot? Why is he around the back entrance? Doesn't make a lot of sense. His phone is later found. It's found on the ground, smashed.
Now, he had
At
like
99 Nashua Street.
Now, not to cut you off, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he have one of those like sidekick things that like opened? You know, the phone that like
it
opened?
was like a T-Mobile?
Yeah,
Is
like
that
no,
what
no.
you're
You remember?
talking
You remember, or the Verizon one that like flipped open,
flipped open?
and it had the keyboard like this.
I think he did have a phone like that.
Because if I remember correctly, it was like bent, like on purpose.
It looked like it was destroyed on purpose. That's what a lot of the...
And the way I think the police got to this was everybody thinks that because your phone is in the middle of the street, that when it gets ran over, it's going to smash into 1,000 pieces. It would be smushed.
Smushed.
Like it would look like...
This looked like it
was
was
a
damaged, bent. Different type of damage than just run over by
In
a
other
car.
words, somebody took this kid's phone and tried to make it look like something else, or they just tried to destroy the phone altogether,
Yep.
right? Because it wouldn't break that way if it was ran over by a car.
Yeah.
Now, talk about his bodily injuries.
Yeah, so his body was located in the water near Nashua Park, right by that street park. It's the Riverside Park adjacent to Nashua Street, right? Bruises are found beneath his eye and near his nose, and they were likely from being struck directly, is what the reports say. Investigators noted that the area where the body was found, it had no barrier and no water's edge near the location. So they think, the investigators and the police think that he fell,
Slipped and hit his face on the way
slipped
down.
in his face on the way down.
Wouldn't there be a scrape?
You would think it'd be more of a scrape. There was
Right.
no scrapes.
When somebody like hits some shit, right? What happens when you trip and fall playing basketball and rip your knee open or some shit? There's a scrape.
There's a scrape. And
There's
that's,
not, like-
you'd assume, like, it would scrape across the
Right.
rocks. or
Meanwhile, if
something.
I get hit in the eye with a hockey stick, my eye splits a little bit, right?
Right. It'd be more of a bruise.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. There would be, some type of, like, not road rash, but some type of scrape as you're
Scratch.
falling.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
So 6 days later, the body's recovered. Here's the thing. Here's the problem. If you look at the current and the water flow patterns, they don't line up, like, neatly. You know what I'm saying?
So there was some kind of like cross.
If he, like, entered where they say he entered, they say that the body should have, because of the current and because the body was flowing, if he entered at Nashua Street, when they say he entered on the 8th, at that time, they would say that they would have recovered him sooner or in a different location.
So he would have washed up sooner.
Either sooner and at a different location further down, based on the current and the water flow.
Right.
So because his body showed the visible injuries, and then they're obviously inconsistent, they're saying that he either had to be placed in later or someone had to hit him and throw him in at a different point. So it has to be at a different point or later, based on the water flow and the injuries.
Right. Now, here's another thing. Let's say this kid was drugged, which is what it sounds like, right? If you're that fucked up that quick, you know what I mean? No, I don't care. You could be the biggest lightweight on planet Earth. The half a beer isn't hitting you that hard, okay? Where do we think, what's the point, what is the point of, like, insertion where, do you think, from what it sounds like to me, the only way somebody could pull this off is if, like, a concessions worker was, like, involved in this somehow.
Oh, you're saying with the slipped in the drink?
But something. How else would it get there?
Okay, well, there is GHB in his system as well.
Bing.
So there's a date rape drug in his system, and he's one of the few that does have that because they got the autopsy on time done. He has GHB in his system. So we know he had the date rape drug inside of his system. So, and it lines up with the symptoms described, that he felt a little woozy after that half beer, and he's kind of stumbling around like, you got to come pick me up, babe. You know, you got to come get me. Yeah. I don't know where I am. You're at 99 Nashua Street. Right. But the Charles River, right? It's a controlled waterway. You know what I mean? It's closed and controlled. It's not like it's an open river like the Mississippi River.
Right.
So this is another reason why, because of that control, because of all the barriers, they assume that these bodies should be popping up sooner than they are. So where's this space 6 days when it should really be taking a day or two?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a long time for a controlled waterway where it's not like there's this huge current flying you down. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not something that everyday people think about, but like people that are like marine oriented know like water tides and currents and high and low tides and shit. Pat, please chime in here.
I was just going to say, you brought up a concession worker, but what could stop somebody from in the game slipping something and then
saying
follows him out?
I'm saying like in collaboration with a concessions person is what I'm saying.
Right. But it also could be just somebody at the game.
Yeah.
Just,
100%.
That's just
I'm
real
just
quick
saying,
bang and follows him out.
I'm right. I'm just
Yes.
saying to like, you got to think like, I mean, how much interference could there really be from you buying a beer at a fucking concession stand at a hockey game? You know what I mean? It's different if like you order a drink at a restaurant and waitresses bring them over on a fucking thing, or you're at a bar with a drink, like, and you get your back turned like this and somebody comes by and throws something in your shit. You know what I mean? It's different. So I'm like, where does that happen? Like, where is that point of insertion to where he's actually drugged? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. But I think you have to, if you have to think in your head that someone had to slip him this drink. And this isn't just this case, it's a bunch of cases. So a lot of people find that, is it some type of, people working in tandem, like a person, like a runner, and someone dropping it in the drink, and then a runner following this person out, like multiple people. You'd have to assume would be the easiest way to do it, especially bartenders, all that stuff. It's the same thing with like what was going on in the bars in Boston. What was it, 2 years ago?
More, further than that, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where like there was like 50 bars where like 10, 15 women were all getting drugged.
Yeah, right,
Same
exactly,
thing.
Yep.
So you'd have to, maybe they're working in tandems. It's tough to tell.
Because I remember there was a case with girls like that were like, we got our drink from the bartender and it still happened.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think that there's probably ways to do it that we can't even think about.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because sick fucks will find ways to do.
Everyone's like,
whatever.
you dropped this in the drink and it fizzled, and maybe, but who knows how you can apply it to somebody?
Yeah, somebody
Could have been someone. Could you walk by and, inject someone with something while you bump into them?
I don't know.
I don't know
if it's like you're walking next to a person and you're like, you know what I mean? Like the kid's holding the beer like this, you're walking on his left or whatever the fuck.
You're at the urinal.
Yeah.
You put your drink down.
That's another option.
Seat over. It could be anything.
And then it's what the cops label this as, which really just like is like, man, what?
I just don't get it. I don't get it because they said this is what they're basically saying. They're saying that Hurley, he was intoxicated. He had alcohol and GHB in his system, which is true. He did have both those things in his system. And he drowned after entering the water near Nashua Street. And the injuries can be explained by the contact with the structures. So like that sidewall, that's what they're saying the injuries are.
So he drugged himself.
Yes.
And ran into the water.
Who takes
GHB for anything? First off, why does it even exist?
I don't know.
Why? Usually when you get like somebody using a drug for something like abusing it or weaponizing it, it exists for like a different purpose. Right?
Yeah.
So what the fuck does this shit even exist for? Did somebody make it in a lab just for
is
this
it like
crazy sick
Viagra?
shit?
Did someone make it for another thing?
I don't know,
and then
dude.
It just...
I have no idea. Is it like a heartbeat medication? Like what is the shit?
Does anybody can you look that up to see why GHB even exists?
Yeah, is it like a variation of an antihistamine or something? Like a sleeping medication? Like what is this shit?
Main use narcolepsy treatment. It works by slowing activity in the brain.
Oh, okay. So it's a seizure medicine.
It's a seizure medication. Okay, fine.
But they also say that the body can produce this, whatever the elements are.
If somebody's going through like a traumatic event and the brain is trying to like protect itself.
Yeah, and that's
is that
why
true?
they
Are you,
say
are you
it
just
could
saying
be.
that?
No, that's am I right or am I wrong, Bruce Pratt?
I don't know that part of it of why it does it, but
can
it
you
can't,
look into how the body can produce GHB?
I thought it was a self-defense mechanism by like the brain. If somebody, if there's some crazy thing happening to you,
I feel like we would have heard that. Like
I don't know if I'm kind of taking an educated guess there.
I think it's similar to alcohol in the way it creates euphoria and relaxation.
Okay.
So it says it's often similar to alcohol, but described as cleaner or shorter lasting.
No, but I'm saying produced in the body.
Wow. So I guess yes, your brain can do it.
It's a defense mechanism. Like
naturally
if
produces
a person,
GHB as a metabolite of the neurotransmitter GABA.
Right. That's what I figured. I'm like, if you're a person experiencing, whether you're a girl that's being fucking assaulted or some shit, or I don't know, somebody being beat by somebody, or I don't know, you're in a fucking near death situation, and your brain is trying to protect itself, right?
It's an interesting thing.
Your body makes tiny amounts of it. It comes from GABA, a brain chemical. I definitely said that wrong. A brain chemical that can help calm things down. Why? To help regulate sleep, keep brain activity balanced so nerves don't fire too much. After death, the body can still make a little bit more as things break down, which is why it sometimes shows up in autopsies, even if a person wasn't drugged.
Okay, now how much is the question?
In normal life, the amount is very, very small. When toxicology finds much higher levels, that's when investigators wonder why the person
clearly there's a threshold here where it's like the body can only produce so much, correct? Right? So
I know I didn't even know you could produce it like that, to be honest.
See what I'm saying? So that's like, that's basically where I was like, now, and in theory, you're saying they could use it as he was being attacked, he was afraid for his life, and his body naturally produced, like it.
Well, I don't think they think he was attacked. That's with the cops. So if the cops have to say that, if the cops
okay, so that's even fucking dumber. Because you could have, so what happened? He just took a panic attack after a half a beer and ran into the fucking, and his brain shut down into like trauma protection mode for no reason.
Yeah, it's at a level that like there's a lot of people, even cops, have said like, you know, you have 2 retired cops that say that it's at a level that it's, you know, this is what
borderline
we would categorize this as a date rape.
No shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, exactly.
It's at that level because those 2 cops are saying it's at that level. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I've never met anybody that's like, let me roof myself a little bit and then go for a swim at the first period of a Bruins game. Never crossed my mind. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Never had the desire. Never. So again, how the fuck I don't know how BPD got to that point.
But this is the thing though. So because the body can do this, it's another way for them to say like, listen, this could be technically explained by science.
The science being how much fucking GHB is in this kid's system.
Yeah.
That's it. Because the body can only produce a finite amount. Right.
I would agree.
Yeah. Right. Do you have anything else to add to this bad, Larry?
No. Yeah, basically the family thinks he was assaulted or incapacitated somewhere else, and his body was entered later, because based on the currents and all that stuff, that they think the body was. So this is the same thing based on the other case, is that people feel like these bodies are going in later, like they're being held somewhere.
How much water was in his lungs, do we know? Like, was there any sign of, like, time in the water? Like, were they able to...
There is decomposition, and it is filled with fluid.
Okay. Okay, so he did have to be there for a couple of days.
Again, there is a strong theory out there. Well, I guess, is it a strong theory? Or there's a theory out there that they're actually getting drowned outside of where they are, inside.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like inside, like, so let's just say we're falling on this theory right now. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Captors are taking these people, bringing them to the house, doing whatever they're doing for a few days.
In a fucking bathtub or some shit, I don't know.
And drowning them in a bathtub, then dropping them in the water to cover their tracks, type thing.
Yeah.
That's a very strong theory out there. Like a lot of people have that theory, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe not strong is the word, but
no,
you know what
I'm
saying?
It's
like,
not like out of the realm of possibility, man. I mean, it's very like.
Nope, it's not.
So now, are we ready to move to the
Yes.
third guy? Okay, so we're moving to Eugene Losick. Okay, now this is February 2010, so this is in fairly close proximity.
Yep.
This is when it really started to heat up.
So if you go down the whole thing, they seem like these murders or whatever disappearances are happening during a few sets of months, usually winter months, usually February and March, and then you see it again like October, November. That's where they always seem to be, in those few months. So that's why people will get into some theories probably after that. Some people think that it's someone with like a cyclical, like a certain schedule, let's say.
Yeah.
You know, some people point to maybe like truck drivers or something that can go up and down because it's in different
Well,
cities
there's a whole
too.
fucking interconnected Route 66
Yes.
thing, not 66.
Is it 84?
84 or Route 2, I don't know, 2, something like that. It's a number.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is.
It's
but it
any
goes out to
number.
Columbus, Ohio, and like goes down to like
Yeah.
Missouri and shit too,
Yes.
right? So that, I'm sure that'll be.
But
an
it is weird that
out-of-market
they
episode.
do seem to all go in at certain months. And
Right.
guess what? People, why isn't it happening so much in the summertime when more people are outside?
I know.
And more people want to be by the water. Like, because the only time I want to be by the water is when I'm in Florida and it's nice out and I want to be by the water. Boston gets nice in the summertime, so wouldn't you assume more people would want to go see the water during the summer months
would.
than the winter months?
I personally would.
Yeah.
I never been like, let's take a nice snowy walk by the water.
Yeah,
Like
no.
what? So now we're gonna cut to February 20th, of 2010. Eugene Losick, 25 years old, was last seen at 2:24 a.m. leaving the back exit of the Marriott Long Wharf Hotel without a jacket. I think this was another SIG.
Yes.
I think it was another SIG.
Why do I feel like I have a slight memory of seeing the CCTV of this?
There is a CCTV. There's
There
some
is, right, of
footage
him
somewhere,
going
yes.
outside, smoking the cigarette without the jacket on.
He never comes back in.
and he
I think
never comes back in. He almost just disappears from frame, and then
Yep.
that's it.
That's pretty much it. He was with a group of friends, and he was reported missing by his friends later that morning because he literally just never came back inside. Right? November 8th, 2010. Body is recovered near Rose Wharf in Boston Harbor. Identification is delayed due to decomposition. Cause of death is unreleased. So I think this might be like the longest time it took.
Right. It took a long time, but let's talk about some of his like
Nook and
movements
cranny it.
before-
Nook and cranny it, Al.
So he's staying with his friends at that Long Wharf again, same as Dustin Willis with that Long Wharf, you know. But this is at that actual Boston Marriott on the Long Wharf, 296 State Street. They see him on the CCTV at 2:24 a.m. He's leaving back entrance of the hotel. The rear exit is near like Christopher Columbus Park.
Yeah.
Would you kind of agree? Like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there,
It's
right?
but where the statue kind of used to
Yes,
be,
yes.
right?
Near Tia's restaurant.
Tia's, yep,
Tia's
it's all
is-
down there. Yep.
I mean, I had many nights at Tia's myself.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
He's seen walking towards Columbus Park. So on the CCTV, when he kind of disappears from plane, he's kind of walking that way, right? Mm-hmm. And now that does lie along the waterfront. Would you agree? North End, you know, that area.
Absolutely.
After exiting the hotel, though, there's no confirmed sighting. So after that, now, granted, 2:30 in the morning, less of a chance, would you say, to see. Even though the bars do get out at 2 o'clock.
Right.
There is bars around there. Tees is one of the most, would you say, probably at this time, top 5
It was
bars
the
or
heyday.
restaurant?
It was definitely the heyday of Tees. Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Insane.
Yep.
Insane over there. His body's found November 8th. Now, that's 9 months after. Insane that it took that long.
The decomposition must have been crazy. I don't know if it was different because it was in the if it was in the water and it decomposes. I mean, I'm sure it does, obviously, but
I think because of the decomposition and how long it was, the precise coordinates weren't written down. So we don't know exactly where the body was found 100%. But it's found at Rose Wharf. So Rose Wharf, as you know, is a couple wharfs down.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you've never been to the North End, by the way, or the waterfront, it does get tricky with all these wharfs.
Because they all come in, they jetty out, they jetty in.
Yeah, it's it goes in order. You know, Lewis Wharf, Rose Wharf, and all this other shit, right? Yeah.
It's a half mile from where he disappeared. So where he was last seen, walking towards Columbus Pod, it's a half mile down the harbor.
Yep.
So people, that time gap, right? Everyone, it's the longest one. If they're gonna drop into the harbor, they typically surface in a few days, a couple days, not months, due to the currents, the tides, and how fast you decompose. 9 months of submersion before surfacing is insanely long. It just doesn't happen. So
It's an entire pregnancy.
That's a great way to put it. Think about how long that feels. And if you're a pregnant woman, you're probably sitting there wow, that's a long time.
Holy shit. Yeah, exactly.
There's that surveillance gap. We don't know where he is. So this is why people it's fishy to certain people.
By the way,
this is a heavily cambered area.
By the way, $1 billion idea, high definition security cameras. Not sure how it's not a thing. I don't know how we're still watching
Invasion of privacy. I don't know.
I don't know how we're still watching security footage in 16-bit Legend of Zelda.
Space.
Yeah,
Data.
I don't get it.
It's just too much. It's too much data in the thing. I actually have camera systems, and they got this weird thing where they only sense movement, and they don't even pick up movement when you want them to pick up movement.
Really?
It's crazy sometimes. You're
it's like having a god
I know
dog
this
that just
happened,
licks
and
people.
why isn't this picking up correctly? You know what I'm saying? I know that this car came in. There's a car accident in front of your place. I have no clue why I wouldn't pick it up.
Is that why Ring has just blossomed as the fucking...
Yeah, but even that screws up.
Really?
Sometimes they'll get my wife walking in and then me not walking in. It's I know I walked in after, or I know I walked in before.
Or a moth flies in front of the fucking thing and you're oh wait, there's a guy outside with a machete. It's what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what do you have any other, are you nooking and cranny this a little bit more? Or what do you... This one's pretty cut and dry.
No, I think that it's pretty much, it's just basically how long it took based on the currents. They believe it should happen longer, and how far it was away from where he went in. It almost feels like it should be further away and in a different area because of the 9 months.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
of course. Now we're going to patterns and possible links. So they all disappeared late at night, all near the water, right? Phones were either dead, found abandoned, separated from separated from the victim. Cases are all publicly ruled as accidental or unclear. None of these have ever been labeled a homicide, right?
No.
None.
Nope.
Families usually remain skeptical, even though there has been stories of the cops showing footage of people walking in to the water,
which is the craziest thing in the world. Why wouldn't you so families have said we release the footage, just release the footage, show us that he went in on his own free will, and
I don't know
we'll
why
stop bothering you, and
Yeah.
they refuse to show the footage to the public.
It doesn't
So that
make
just
any sense
it
to me.
fuels speculation.
I agree, right. And then you get the speculation, obviously, of a serial offender or a group targeting young men in Boston. And like I said, police maintain no proven foul play link between the cases, but it's really been spearheaded by the families and true crime communities to push for reinvestigation and new forensics. It's been the people that have kept this going, right?
Yep. But we push everything. The people always push everything. That's why they open cold cases of murders because people are applying pressure, like families. Like almost every one, the family had to go down and apply pressure to these police departments,
so to speak.
So that's basically what's happening here. Is like they're just getting big communities, they're getting them together, and you're hoping that they're going to open these cases because that's really the only hope you have is to try to get these things investigated fully.
Great movie to watch for reference on something like this. If anybody's never ever seen 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, watch it.
Never saw it.
Unbelievable. It's like Frances McDormand, her daughter gets raped and murdered. The cops don't get any answers. They're taking forever with shit. So she starts buying billboards around the town. Okay. Like fucking with them and breaking their balls and like calling them out and shit. Yeah. And then she goes at it with the cops. They hate her. She hates it's like there's all this insane character. It's unbelievable. Anyway, did you have anything else to add to any of these 3 cases?
Nope. Well, you still got more to go here on your timeline here. Plenty of stuff.
We only had 3. What do you mean?
I was just gonna say, living in the North End for 7, 8 years now. Yeah. This one is on my mind all the time because I like running around and like a lot of these. Unfortunately, are female, right? This is one where they're going after younger males, where you're kind of like,
it was definitely like I remember like in 2015 or 16 when Zachary Marr, who I technically think is the last guy that fits this archetype, the kid in front of the bell in hand, that went missing. And it was like, dude, like the guys aren't even safe. And that affects you as a guy. You're like, I can handle myself. You know what I mean?
I still think about it. And also, it gives you a perspective of like, yeah, there's a lot of people in the North End around Faneuil Hall. Right. But when you go out there at night, if somebody wanted to, I mean, things could happen quick. And there's pockets.
Not to sound like a PC, like white knight here or anything like that, but it kind of puts you in like the mental frame of like a vulnerable girl. You know what I mean? Where you're like, shit, like, is this like what they fucking worry about? Like...
Yeah,
more frequently, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, like this was like a wake up
Stay with
call.
your friends.
Yeah, like stay. I'm like, holy fuck, like if guys ain't even safe out here, the women must be fucking clamoring. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, it's just a very it was a very sobering time. I think that was, I can say honestly, me as a 33-year-old guy, I think that was one of those like how the Zodiac killer affected. You know, like those like crime sprees or instances that like affect a generation of people,
like the Boston Marathon bombing,
something like that.
Yeah.
Or like the Son of Sam, how like that summer in New York was fucking crazy. Yep. Made a movie about shit like that was like the closest thing for like guys our age to be like, whoa, like this is something that like it definitely affects you, like, you know, your psyche as a guy when you're going out and you're like, fuck, dude, like guys just like me are like going missing and turning up in the same way. Somebody's coming after us. It's usually not like the, you know, girls got to worry about any creep that's out at a bar trying to make a move or do something crazy. And that kind of flipped the script and was like, fuck, now it's like, now we ain't even good out here. Like this is like, you know what I mean?
There's actually a theory about that it's a group of girls doing it to make guys feel like how they feel. Sheesh. That's a theory as well.
I mean, fucking A. It's a theory.
It's a theory. Public theories. We didn't even get into the smiley face. You should probably get into the smiley face theory.
Oh, nope, you're right. It's there. I just scrolled over it. I'm a fucking moron. You're correct. I also just only read half of it for some reason. Okay, so public theories and reactions. Yeah, we're back. Sorry, in segment 6. You don't even have to cut this. Just show that I'm a moron. Connections to the broader Smiley Face Killer, quote unquote, theory of water-related deaths. Now, this is something that it's not a funny thing in the back. It's a serious thing, guys.
Yeah.
It's a serious
They're
podcast.
laughing at like people dying.
Everybody's dead in the show. I actually, never mind. I was going to put a joke in that only anybody here would get. Forget it anyway. The Smiley Face Killer thing now, this is more of like a convenient, like, it almost feels like a shoehorned thing because it really doesn't hold much weight. It should be called something else.
Here's what it is. So let's get a little bit into the theory. Why don't we get a little bit into the theory? And I'm on the same page as you 100%.
Okay.
There's these 2 New York police detectives. They were heavy on the beat for a long time. Basically, a couple of the cases that they worked on. One was like in 1997, I believe. His name was, Patrick McNeil. It didn't sit right with one of these guys. His name's Kevin Gannon and Anthony Duarte. We've mentioned them before. didn't sit right with him, and he started like putting these pieces together. Like, I know this kid didn't just go into the water, you know, and he comes up with this theory that these people getting placed into the water later on, and that there's smiley faces drawn at all these sites. Now, he does a whole bunch of clusters. He's got ones in Minneapolis, Minnesota, several college-age men.
Columbus, Ohio, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Columbus, Ohio, La Crosse, Wisconsin,
Yep.
and New York. Yeah, Columbus and surrounding. So there's a few drowning of Ohio State students. New York has got the Patrick McNeil, which is that original Fordham student, in 1997. So think about how far back that is. That's 30 years now. And then later deaths they're linking into in New York. So these two guys basically can match up. You know, they're talking 20, 30, 40 people that all kind of fall into the same pattern. The currents don't match. The decomposition doesn't match. And that all these places, like at least 15 or 16 of them, have unique smiley faces.
That's a proven thing. Did somebody take a picture of this?
There's all smiley faces. This is that they've proven that they're there, okay? But that doesn't, again, I've said this many times on many different things. What's the number one drawing you first learn how to make when you're 6 years
A
old?
fucking smiley face or a circle.
So you got to take it with a grain of salt, and that's kind of what other people say, is that the investigators like, dude, it's a smiley face. This smiley, you can go check on anywhere around here. I could probably find
18
15
smiley
in Wilmington.
faces. Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Just go walk around and you'll find smiley faces.
Right.
So they're saying it's coincidence that they're there. They're saying no,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but they are there near a lot of the sites. So
I
you know,
just wish someone took a
there
fucking
is some on
picture.
Charles Street, but now guess what? We're talking about it, right? People
Mm-hmm.
are talking. Okay, there's all these deaths. What they call the Smiley Face Killer. You don't think some punk kid is going down there with a can of spray paint and drawing a smiley face, so that the next time when they find somebody, there's like, oh,
Shopping
there's a
marker
smiley
on a
face.
fucking telephone pole or some shit or whatever it is.
And a lot, yeah, there are pictures though, like you could tell it's a fresh, like the kid
Smiley
disappears.
face.
It's a fresh smiley face. Like that's kind of where the theory started.
It's the Joker from Batman.
Yes.
Is basically what they're
and then
trying
some
to
are
say.
so faded that it could have been 5 years, 10 years before that this smiley face was put there. Yeah, okay. And then
I just want to know in relation to where the body is. Where is
some
the
of them
thing?
are extremely close.
Okay. So
Some
this
are like
isn't
point
like
of entry
Okay.
close.
So this
some of them
isn't
are on
like-
like a phone box. It's like a mail box, like where it was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Some are on
that's
a
way
wall.
different.
Some are on a wall in a bar, and he went out the back of the bar into the water. That close.
Okay, that's much different. I thought this was like on a building and the kid was found in a fucking alleyway.
There's some of
and
those
it's
too.
on the front.
But
It's
that,
just like a random.
you gotta
know
take
people-
you
yeah.
gotta take it both ways. Where like
Or they're
some-
like, oh, the bathroom stall had a smiley face drawn in it. It's like, all right, buddy. It also says like, you know, fuck Greg. You know, or for a good time, call your best friend's phone number or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their basic theory is that it's a network of offenders. This is Gannon and Duarte. Am I saying that right, Duarte?
Duarte. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a it's kind of a phonetically unpleasing name to be
That
honest with
it's
you. But
it's
that
a
guy's
network
G.
of offenders, obviously in different states or like a group of people. They don't know if it's an initiation of some sort, and that's why like. You know, the pattern doesn't match on the graffiti. Everyone's drawing a different one. You know what I mean? They all have different traits to them. Some of them kind of match up with the way, like, I don't know if it's handwriting analysis or whatever you'd call it.
And I got to give some credit here. Dante the Don, Barstool,
Okay. Yep.
become a pretty, friendly with him through social media and stuff. He is always like, every now and then he'll throw up a piece about, like a blog about this. He's
Okay.
been into this because he's does
He's
a lot
also
in
a huge
Chicago.
conspiracy guy. I'm pretty
Huge,
sure.
big conspiracy guy, Dante, right? Big conspiracy guy. And he kind of pointed out, like, when you look at the interconnected, where it all, it looks like you ever look like at like an anatomical version, like image of a body?
Yeah.
And how nerves look?
Okay.
It looks like a nerve. Like it's one line, and then it's like New York,
This is why people find that one road,
Wisconsin, Ohio.
For some reason, I feel like it's Route 84. I don't know why that's stuck in my head. I know for some reason I'm thinking.
Pat's on it to tell you it's Route 85. Watch, it's like going to be like.
Can you find out the route that they feel
The
like
route,
it could
please?
be based on? The smiley face.
Find the route.
Do we have one?
Jack's going to say it. This is Jack's big moment on the pod.
Jack, I'm gonna be honest. Jack is like picture perfect smiley face material.
I know he is. I
Like
know,
he's
right?
he's
Pat
he's
is
young.
too, though. To be
he
honest
looks
with you.
athletic.
Yeah.
Pat's getting a little older, so
Yeah, Pat, I think you
Jack
aged,
looks
I think
like
you aged
Jack.
out, Pat. Yeah.
Someone's licking their chops just thinking about Jack
Yep.
right now.
So when people talk about the Smiley Face Killer route, they're referring less to a confirmed serial killer's travel path and more to a pattern of drownings across a stretch of major college cities.
Oh, that's the nerve one. That's the nerve theory.
What did I
You did
I
say that.
swear to Christ, I never read that in my life, Jack. I'm not
I
like.
could be confusing like that. The Canadian one. Have you ever heard of the Canadian?
Yes, very
it's on
vaguely,
what-
but like
okay.
not in depth.
Maybe I'm confusing those two, but I've heard the nerve theory
Because
as well.
the way I'm looking at it, as I'm gonna step away from the mic, it's like a nerve, and then like you know how you usually see like.
Yes. So the paths to the actual murders look like nerves.
Yeah, like but it's all off the same main thing, the same fucking main
vein.
I'll face the central artery, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Did you have anything else to add to this?
No, because we're gonna have future episodes. We can go a little deeper into.
Yeah, you want to save some ammo.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, but I
We
will
can
say that.
bog it down, and it's like a lot of stuff.
Right, exactly, and I can only imagine how many. If Maura Murray's got 140 fucking episodes. Who the hell knows what this thing has? This thing has TV shows and all types of shit.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty intense. I don't know if you'll ever honestly find an answer.
No, I don't know unless you catch the guy in the act.
In the act,
which
yeah,
that'll be the last episode we do on this because me and you were pretty up close with the last almost potential victim. I'm sorry. That whole fucking story when we did the podcast that time.
We should
with
check
that
in
kid,
with him, by the way.
I should. He like reached out a year ago and was like, "Hey man, like just want to let you know like I'm doing really well."
Oh, great.
And everything.
Who
like
are you
that.
talking about right now for people that
This
are
happened,
listening?
What, like 2 or 3, maybe 3 years ago?
Yeah, right around 2 or 3 years ago.
A kid got I forget where Braintree, right? Isn't he a Braintree? Oh no, Weymouth,
South Shore.
Yeah. Kid. Again, like just
went to the garden.
The Garden. It was like a Celtics game.
Yep, he went to a garden for an event.
I think it was his boy's bachelor party, if I'm not mistaken.
They all went there. He was like 21.
They were parked underneath like
No.
No,
weren't they on the back near the Coast Guard base?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like
not the Coast Guard base, the Coast Guard
entry point or whatever the fuck it's called.
He knew somebody, or his father knew somebody who let him park back there.
Yep.
And he goes back there. He disappears from his friends a little bit. He's apparently said he was going to take a piss.
Yeah. Right.
And all of a sudden he wakes up. He's in the water.
Yeah.
They got like you could look up the case. They did a news article and stuff. There's people that see him in the water, and there's another guy in the water that they're flailing around in the water. These two people, this guy, this random guy, and this kid are flailing around in the water. As soon as people call out to him, he starts to help them.
Right.
He has like a mark on his face, no scratches, just like a black eye type thing. Very similar to William Hurley's. So it's very, very similar to William Hurley's thing.
Yep. And then his ear was split, if you remember.
Like,
yeah,
his ear was like almost like he got hit across the face. Do you ever see Tommy Boy when he's like, it doesn't hurt here, it doesn't hurt here, it hurts right here. That's what he looked like. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. So it's almost like somebody came up from behind him and hit him with like a baton or something.
Yes, that was what we
surmised on the show, right?
At the point. But that guy that helped him out of the water just disappeared.
Well, the biggest thing was like,
Disappeared
Pat, I'm
completely.
dead. This is 100% a real. Like we did a whole fucking like 2
Not
hour
the guy
show.
that helped him out of the water. I apologize. The guy that was in the water with him. Then
It's
two
two
people
different.
jumped
It's
in.
2 different people.
2 different guys.
So I remember because they did the fucking like the way when it hit me. When they did the interview with like his father.
Yes.
And was like, we're thankful that somebody was there to help him.
Yeah.
And then I went back and looked at the thing. I'm like, wait, who's this fucking guy?
Yeah.
He was like, I have no idea. Nobody knows.
Yeah, his father. Yeah, you're right. His father went in with another person. I think somebody else and picked him up. Right? Oh no, we assumed it was the father. I apologize.
That's what I'm saying. We
assumed
thought that
he
was his father. I thought it
someone
was his
holding
father
him
in the picture,
thing.
and it was a totally different guy that no one knows who he is.
We're definitely gonna come back to this.
Definitely gonna come back to
Yeah.
it. It was
It's insane.
crazy. It was the craziest Bad Brain episode of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Also
it
the
was
highest
wild.
viewed on YouTube. I will point that out.
Yeah.
That'll be the last episode that we do.
Yeah.
But do you have anything else to add
No,
here?
I think that's a pretty good start.
It is a good start. I think we didn't even get into theories yet because there's like more to come.
Yeah.
So welcome to season 2 of the Pat. You got anything, Jack? Anything? Nothing at all. Welcome to season 2 of The Search, brought to you by Dave's Hot Chicken. See you on the next episode.